Hello, hello. It is Monday afternoon after a great birthday weekend. My mum came down. You saw that in the last video. We hung out in London for the day, ate a lot. I still have a lot of cake in the fridge that I need to get through, which is not ideal. Good weekend, all in all. I'm now 38. I know you wouldn't believe it. Yesterday, I created a video just basically advertising the YouTube channel. Posted that out today on social media. Come and check me out on YouTube. That's gone out on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, actually. Because I've only posted things on stories so far, and I feel like not everyone watches your story. So I filmed that in this exact room yesterday. I'll show you where. I actually sit for my YouTube videos here in this chair with the key light here, and then the camera is beneath there. I do have a bit of a hair light back there as well. It's a pretty simple setup. And then I've been doing a bit of outreach this morning. I try and integrate a bit of outreach into my day most days, even if it's like an hour, just to keep that rolling. I document my outreach in HubSpot. I think I've got this up here. Yeah, HubSpot, which you can see here. And yeah, I think it's just a healthy way to keep leads warm and understand where I am with everything, because otherwise I just forget who I've contacted and so on. This afternoon now, I am going to start an edit on the stuff that I did in Dubai with the fitness influencer, Estefani. Hopefully get something cool today on that, send it out to her, see what she thinks. I also need to do a bit of planning today or tomorrow. I'm heading into central London on Wednesday. Remember the job I was talking about with Caterpillar, where they want me to film a journey from the point of view of a shoe? It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be going out Wednesday doing that. Going to document that as well. But I need to do a bit of a shot list, maybe a plan beforehand. They're giving me quite a bit of creative freedom on it, which is nice. But like I said, it's a weird one. It's fun, but it's a weird one. Something that I've never done before. So I've basically got to take the gimbal out or something. A way to hold the camera low to the ground without disabling me. Now I'm 38. I like to wing these things to an extent, but I also think that it's healthy to have a small plan at least. And in the interest of complete and utter transparency, for this Caterpillar job, I want to tell you what I charged for this. So basically it's going to be, what I've charged for is a half to full day shoot. That'll be me going out into London, into the wild, doing the video shoot. Obviously planning, pre-planning, things like that comes into it as well. It's all a creative process, right? That involves me going out for the day filming. Then I'm going to take the content. I need to edit it together. That edit is going to be a 30-second video. So the complete deliverables are just a 30-second video that's edited. And then, of course, I've got the day shoot as well. For that, I am charging £980. So again, I wanted to go through quoting and stuff on a separate video and how I came to understand what to quote, how to quote. I want to try and be as transparent as I can with what I'm charging. That's just an insight into one thing that I've charged for one project. So yesterday, I finished the video for Estefani. It's about 90% finished actually. I'm gonna touch that up a little bit today, but looking forward to showing you guys the results. I'm really happy with them. I also managed to get the Mayakian video done. I had a 30-second recap to complete for them. So I also got that done, got that approved. They were happy with it. And it actually got posted on social media yesterday. And you see, this is the thing. When it comes to social media, I wouldn't say that I like posting too much. Based on my last comment, it really does matter. I know that different platforms as well mean different things, different types of content on different types of platforms. Of course, on YouTube, it's more long-form content. Obviously YouTube shorts, short form content, but then Instagram short form content. Then you've got TikTok. Don't even get me started with TikTok. I should definitely sign up to TikTok. People keep telling me, but for me, I want to put my work out there and I want to put my message out there, hence the reason doing YouTube. But it's like one step at a time. I can't just do everything at once. I get overwhelmed by it. What I'd love to know is how you guys deal with social media. Anyone who's in this type of a field or a business where, I suppose with every business, you want to be posting on social media as much as you can, but how do you deal with that? Do you find yourself on multiple platforms, creating multiple types of content for multiple types of platforms, or do you get overwhelmed by it too? Let me know, I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on it. If my face is red, it's because I've just been in the sauna. 20 minutes is my record so far. 20 minutes in the sauna. Actually, my face doesn't look that red. As long as I can then, under a cold shower, for all of you wellness enthusiasts out there. If you go in the sauna, sometimes I get to a point like today, for example, where there's someone else in the sauna with you, and he came in after me, but there was no way that I was leaving before him. There was like a personal competition in my head that he didn't know he was involved in. Or maybe he did. One of the first things that I need to do today is, remember I told you yesterday that I've got to film for a brief that I have for Caterpillar? I have to film from a shoe's point of view on a certain route, which I need to define today. Going through all different urban environments. I'll tell you more about the brief later. But that's going to be something I need to plan today. Not only plan the route, but also my setup with the camera, because I need to hold it low to the ground. I need to figure out what setup I'm going to use. So I'm looking at the brief now, and the idea here is that they want the footwear to be shot at ground level. It's basically the viewer is seeing from the point of view of the footwear. The brief's pretty short. Like I said, there's a lot of creative freedom I can have with this. I was looking at the map and trying to figure out a route that I could take throughout London. However, I don't feel like I'm just going to be taking a continuous shot. Otherwise, I'm just going to have the camera going constantly, and I can only walk so fast. I'm going to get into Paddington, stick around busy city areas. Basically, I've got some example scenes that they've given to me. Crossing over a pedestrian crossing, climbing the stairs in the subway, walking crowded streets and waiting at street lights and so on. I think they want various ground textures as well. So here they've basically stated they want cement, cobblestone, marble. Again, that shows different areas and different locations. This is what I mean. I don't think it's going to be a continuous shot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to film certain routes, stitch them together, slow down. It's going to be sped up. Slow it down. At that point, then we're going to have text come on top of the screen saying things like navigate, rebound, grip, and so on. These are all keywords to do with the footwear itself. Okay, so I think I've figured it out, how I'm going to film at ground level whilst also still remaining comfortable for the entirety of tomorrow. I've got the camera on the gimbal attached to a magic arm, attached to the briefcase handle that comes with the gimbal. It looks ridiculous, to be fair, and also feels it. As long as the camera is safe, which it feels stable, then it's fine, but I just look like a bit of a prick. So now I'm going to go and test it out on the street, just so I'm not in for any nasty surprises tomorrow. Okay, so I just looked over the footage, and from what I can see, it's going to work. I do look like I'm taking my pet camera out for a walk, but needs must. And it's just good to be prepared. I personally don't ever feel like I'm prepared enough, but some preparation doesn't go amiss, does it? Fail to prepare, and you're prepared to fail. I think that's it. I could have made this much easier by using like an action camera or a Insta360 or something like that. I'm not overly familiar with them, and I don't have one. I have an action camera. I just don't have a long pole to put it on. So I'm going to go the hard way. I'm going to use my camera and the gimbal and the contraption that you saw earlier. And by the looks of it, it's all going to be fine. So I'm just sorting my things out for tomorrow. I'm taking just one camera, I've got my lens here, the 24-70, which I'm just going to have at 24, let's be honest. I've got the ND filters, I've got 2, just in case I need to use another lens. Memory cards, the gimbal, this contraption, that currently the batteries are charging as well. Okay, just got to London with my camera and my magic stick. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. My magic stick. That sounds really wrong, doesn't it? So I'm going to start the shooting. I'm just going to walk with it. And what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see this, but I've got the Lumix app on my phone here, which is made for remote shooting. So because the camera's going to be low down, I can see what the camera sees in my hand up here, which is really useful. I'm actually close to Oxford Street currently, so I'm going to walk down there, weave through some people and see what we get. But I feel like I'm completely winging this, to be honest. So just an update for you. I've already had 2 people ask me if I've got permits to film in the area. 1 person asked me not to film them at ground level. And 3 people asked me if I'm filming up people's skirts. To which I replied, of course I am. And then I just got, you dirty bastard. Great. Okay, that is a wrap. What a day. That is a successful day, I'd say. These things don't come without their obstacles. Today certainly had some obstacles, whether that be the setup or whether that be just people being nosy along the way. Let's just put it that way. But we got what we needed. Gonna check out the footage tomorrow, and now I can start editing the video. But yeah, today was new for me. A new experience, something that I'd not really done before. The way that I deal with those things is I feel like I'm winging it, but in the end, it turns out well. So I'm starting to feel more and more like I know what I'm talking about, which is good. Hopefully the client loves it when I get the edit together. I'm off to meet a friend now before leaving London. So that's it for today, but catch you guys tomorrow. So I got back last night, uploaded all the footage from yesterday. Not had a chance to properly look through it yet, but I'm pretty happy with what we've got. My legs are dead. And there's a good reason for that. If you remember, I was telling you that I'm doing the half marathon in Reading in a few weeks. So yesterday morning, I ran 15K and then proceeded to walk around London all day. So when I got back last night, I just forgot how to use my legs. I wanted to touch on one experience that I've had this morning. I've got a client that I'm filming for next week. It's the first time we've worked together. I originally quoted for a job behind the scenes shooting, half a day, post-production. Then he came to me and wanted an add-on to that. So originally that was 1.5 day shoot, but what he wanted to add on was another half a day where we were going to film between him and a colleague, both talking to one another, conversation style, kind of like podcast, but a little bit more lo-fi. So I added an extra half a day plus the edits onto the original quote. Now, to be transparent, my day rates are £550 for filming and currently £450 for editing per day because I don't have to leave the house. I'm just in front of the computer. I charge less for editing days. What I'd love to hear from you guys is your rates to gain an understanding of what other people are charging, certainly in the UK. So if I film for just half of a day, it's £350. It's not just half of £550, which is the full day. It's £350 for half of a day because I've still got to go out there. I think it's more of a incentive to just book for the full day. That is common practice from what I understand. So we booked in the full 2 days. So obviously the extra half a day is just an add-on because I'm already there. So I just booked him in for 2 full days instead of 1.5. He's come back to me now. He can't do the half day on that particular day when we're shooting the 2 days or shooting the 1.5 day. So I'm now having to book him in for half a day on a separate day. Now I toyed with, do I charge the extra for the half day, because booking a half day on a separate day is more than what it is to add an extra half day on top of a half day that I'm already doing, which will be the full day rate of $550. So do I charge him the extra, which would work out at £75, of course, plus travel, things like that? Or because he's a new client, do I just keep the quote the same as what I originally intended? It just means that I've got to go out an extra day. I don't get the extra travel, things like that. But it's a new client. So I find myself in this situation where I don't know what to do for the best. So I charged the extra because I want to be seen as a creator, freelance that takes business and their company seriously. I think that we should always aim to over-deliver to clients. And if there's any way that you can give added extras or do things that are going to retain the client, then I'm all for it. But in this case, I decided to start as we mean to go on and be strict with my rates. When I created these rates at the beginning, I wanted to be strict with them. I wanted to stick to what I had because it's very easy to veer off. You know, you might get clients saying to you, oh, can we just do it for this? Can you just do it for that? For me, I want to build a strong foundation for this business. So it's minimal cash. Some people might think, oh, you could have just done it for the original quote. Even though you're technically doing more work, you could have just done it for the original quote. But I want people to take me seriously. And if I'm swapping and changing quotes left, right, and center, and not charging what I feel that I'm valued at and what I feel like the work is valued at, then I'm just doing myself a disservice. Myself now and my future self. I feel like I'm doing the business a disservice as well. So, and anyway, I messaged the client, told him the situation. He was happy to proceed. So it all worked out well in the end. This is a minefield, certainly because every job is different. Next week, I will be taking you on this shoot that I'm talking about. It's a 2-day shoot. I'm looking forward to showing you everything there is to see, whatever behind the scenes that I can get. But that's it for this week. If you are enjoying these episodes, YouTube is suggesting that you watch this one right here. But for more, tune in next week. As usual, I'm Ash. This is Amix Motion.